Hey everyone, you're listening to an episode of Thorne in Your Side. And I'm your host, C. Thorne. This is the podcast where I talk about information and opinions, both popular and unpopular, related to random topics, both serious and non-serious. And feel free to listen because it needs to be said. And besides, you already pressed the play button. So take a break, relax, and prepare to be entertained and informed. I probably said this already, but free stuff is awesome. Isn't it nice to experience something without having to pay for it? Obviously, I'm not talking about stealing because that's bad and against the law. So don't you dare do it. But I digress. Whether it's a birthday gift, Christmas present, or a random blessing, it always feels good to experience things completely free of charge. One good example would be mobile games, which are games that can be played on mobile devices such as phones and tablets. Although some of these games cost money, several of them are completely free to play, but with optional payments. In other words, you don't have to spend money on it, but if you want a certain outfit, character, pet, or whatever, you'll have to fork over the moolah. Unfortunately, some mobile games, as well as certain computer games, have taken this to the extreme and relied on unfortunate and immoral methods to get money from their customers. And I don't like it one bit. Now, to all the people who play mobile games, as well as the companies that develop them, I don't mean to be a thorn in your side. But mobile games need to stop being dirty. Yep, I said it. Those games need to stop being dirty and desperate for money. Now, don't get me wrong, mobile games are pretty cool. It's a good alternative for people who want to play fun games but don't want to spend money on an expensive gaming console or computer. Also, it's great for people who are on the go most of the time. As someone who's been playing mobile games for years, I'm just getting tired of the obvious predatory methods that companies are using to make money off their players. And I'm seeing some trends, both unfortunate and creepy, that I just don't approve of at all. Such as these mobile games advertising characters with really huge...
Don't you dare insult my precious mobile game! I'll double back slap your face with my tail!
Whoa, what's a whale doing here? Where'd you come from? Who are you and how'd you get
That's
here?
none of your business, human! But if you must know, I'm a whale! Oh yeah! Holla at your boy, whale unit! Shout out to all the homies in the Pacific Ocean side!
Wait a minute. So you're a whale that's a whale? Seriously, how did you fit in here? There's water everywhere.
I spend huge money on mobile games because they satisfy me in more ways than one. So you better not say anything bad about them or else I'll spout more water everywhere.
Well, I'm talking about mobile games, so you better behave and get your flippers out my face. Anyway, most mobile games are actually quite enjoyable and family friendly. I have a few mobile games on my phone because they're entertaining and gives me something to do when I'm bored. Also, I like saving money, which is the main reason why I play mobile games. Completely free to play. And regardless of how tempting it gets, I don't spend money on them. Several people who play mobile games have the same mindset, which means developers need to figure out a way to entice or pressure their gamers into spending money. This is where things get nasty. Too many game companies are relying on constantly sexualizing and objectifying characters in order to make a profit. And unfortunately, it works. By targeting certain kinds of players, these people are willing to dump lots of money into a game for reasons that I refuse to say out loud. From the way the games are being advertised to the playable characters, it's pretty obvious what the developers are focusing on. Of course, they're a business, so you can't really blame them. Still, there has to be some morals, standards, or something, because it gets weird when they keep releasing females with crazy body proportions and skimpy outfits that make them look
What's
like...
wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with showing a bunch of fan service. You humans should know by now that sex sells. These companies target players like me and my whale friends because all we care about is the fan service. And we'll pay for it, and once again, pay for it. I don't care about tier lists and move sets. Just show me the juicy kneecaps and inner thighs, and I'll throw money at it.
Yuck! Dude, that's absolutely disgusting. Just like console games and PC games, mobile games are meant to be played and enjoyed responsibly. I understand that a bunch of them are nothing but watered down cash grabs that rely on predatory practices for profit, but other mobile games have a nice storyline and immersive gameplay. In fact, some mobile games have veterans from the video game industry on the staff, and that's a good selling point. Some mobile games, like Pokemon Masters EX, have a great soundtrack with lots of nostalgia.
Did you say Pokemon Masters X? Oh boy, that's probably my favorite dating simulator right now. Oh, we had so many obviously underage girls to choose from, and it makes my barnacles boil. Most of them are from 10 years old to 12 years old, but I don't care. I would love to take my flippers and...
Whoa. Please close your big mouth right now. First of all, Pokemon Masters EX is not a dating simulator. Second, it's a fun game from the Pokemon franchise that let us collect and assemble a dream team of Pokemon trainers. It's cool seeing characters from different regions interacting with each other, which leads to some funny scenarios. Like I said before, it has a great soundtrack, which is the main reason why I still play it. I already did an episode about that game.
Call it whatever you want, but the only reason why players and whales like me deal with it is because of that trainer lodge. It's the place where you get to interact with the characters. And the developers keep adding underage girls to it. Even better, most, if not all of them, are wearing short shorts or short skirts. The bodies for girls are so obvious, especially since the game released 9 new female characters in a row. 11 if you include the Lodge characters, and I love it. Also, there was a recent update that lets me decorate the lodge however I want. So I have pictures of the underage girls all on my walls, as well as lots of dolls that look just like them. I love my underage waifus. I love my underage harem. I love this dating simulator, and these girls look so...
That's enough. That is enough. Please stop talking. Mr. Whale, I'm serious. Stop your talking. I told you to behave. It's bad enough that you almost flooded my place with all this water, but the least you can do is not be such a cringy creature and stop spraying water through your blowhole. Goodness gracious. Now, if you ask me, The Trainer Lodge is probably the worst feature that was added to the game. I'll admit that it's an easy way to get free items with minimum effort, but the whole concept just bothers me. It allows us to have one-sided conversations with certain Pokemon trainers and receive personal pictures of them. But as the whale said earlier, most of the characters in the lodge are young girls, which doesn't sound right at all. Also, the lodge can use some more diversity. Out of the 15 Pokemon trainers that can be currently invited, there's only one colored person in there. That's 130% unfair. The developers should add more people of color to the lodge instead of thinking the players only want to interact with the little girls. Yes, I'm aware that Pokemon games are usually geared towards kids, but we all know that older people play these games as well. There's nothing wrong with adding more adults to the game, so why not? Yeah, why not? The more variety of characters, the better. Oh wait, that reminds me. Matt still isn't playable. You all remember him, right? He's the cool, dark-skinned bro that serves as one of the administrators from Team Aqua. He and his counterpart Courtney had the most important role in that event quest that occurred last summer, which was in 2022. Yet everyone from that event quest became playable except him. Out of the 7 noble trainers, he was the only one who didn't become playable. And everyone who did become playable just happened to be white-skinned. It's not a coincidence. It's outright racism.
Like I said, companies care more about players and whales like me than you freeloaders. If they want the big money, they'll cater to us whales. As long as I'm sending my paychecks to them directly, then they better keep giving me juicy kneecaps and inner thighs. The younger, the better. That's the way, I like it.
Look here, you big pile of blubber. Yeah, that's right. You a big pile of blubber. I said it. Can't you see I'm talking about something extremely important right now? It's been almost a year since Matt went through that unfair treatment. And I don't think the developers, Dina and Nintendo, plan on giving him justice. And to make matters worse, Dina probably thought it was funny and clever to advertise the recent anniversary news with Courtney and Looker. Yeah, that actually happened. Out of all the characters they could have chosen, and there's a lot of them, Dina chose to advertise the news for this year's anniversary using Courtney. Once again, she's a Matt's counterpart, and Looker. Remember him? He's the guy who became playable instead of Matt, despite being from another region and having the least important role in that event quest. It's almost like Dina and Nintendo are bragging about their bias against Matt and how much they screwed him over. But I digress. If you wouldn't mind knowing more about the disgusting and unprofessional treatment of a cool black guy, check out my second episode, Pokemon Masters EX. What the heck? Yes, I went there. Anyway, I'm not trying to be a thorn in your side. But mobile games need to stop catering to the weirdos and creepies for easy profit. For the record, it's completely fine for companies to have fan service in their games. I have nothing against that. The problem is when there's an excessive amount of fan service, and it makes the game almost uncomfortable and cringe to play. Honestly, I'm tired of playing a really good mobile game that slowly but surely decomposes into one of those waifu collection farms. Ugh. And those things are simply creepy. The sad part is that there's a bunch of them in the App Store. And sometimes the characters want you to touch
All
their...
right, human, you're starting to bore me. Players and whales like me are the reason why you freeloaders get to play for free. If we stop supporting it, then guess what? The game shuts down. So you better hope they keep giving me the sexual-ass girls with juicy kneecaps and inner thighs. More skin, more fan service, more everything. Now, if you excuse me, I just got paid today, and I'm gonna dump my bank account into a new gacha game that has an active summer banner, which means a bunch of characters in bikinis showing lots of skin. It's not even close to summer yet, but who cares? The developers are so desperate and greedy for money, and I love it. See you later, human. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that unexpected guest that was both rude and inappropriate. Hopefully he won't come back. He better not. Now, I just need to figure out how to get rid of all this water. But I'll worry about that later. My final point is that if you surely believe that it's fine for mobile games to resort to these unfortunate tactics for revenue and to focus on satisfying creepy whales like the one that just left, then that's not good at all. These mobile games are in the App Store, which is accessible to anyone with a phone or mobile device, including kids. Kids should not be exposed to games with those kinds of pictures. There's way too many games in the App Store, as well as online games in general, that look innocent and kid-friendly, but some of the artwork and characters, in-game situations, and even sound effects are far from it. Trust me when I say you wouldn't want your kids playing them, because it might mess them up or encourage perverted behavior. I can understand M-rated games getting away with it since those games are meant for a mature audience and kids should not be playing them at all, but definitely not E-rated games, which are games meant for people of all ages, which is what most games from the App Store claim to be. So the next time you visit the App Store, be careful. You may think the game's E-rating stands for everyone, but it might stand for ew. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Thorne and Your Side. And I'm your host, C. Thorne. Feel free to comment, like, share, tweet, subscribe, post, follow, and all the other good stuff. And there'll be another hilarious and phenomenal episode next week. And remember, be smart and stay sharp.